On that, Professor Popovsky. You are staying with us to discuss more updates from the region. Russia has claimed control of 2 villages in Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region as its offensive advances, according to the Kremlin. And on Sunday, Russia's defense ministry reported the capture of the village of Myrne, known by its Soviet-era name, Karl Marx, located near the administrative border between Donetsk and Dnipropetrovsk. Myrne's capture has been a significant gain for Moscow's forces, which are now reportedly moving deeper into Ukrainian territory. Additionally, Russia's military confirmed its takeover of Mykolaivka, another village in the Donetsk region. This development marks a continuation of the 3-year-long conflict, with Russian forces intensifying their operations this summer, despite failed negotiations for a ceasefire between the US, Ukraine and Moscow. Now we're once again joined by Professor Veselin Popovsky. What is your view, Professor Popovsky, about how Russia seems to be developing on the battlefield? We are getting continuous updates of them capturing various villages, various small territories. What are your thoughts on Russia's military capabilities and the current territory that they are gaining at the moment?
I would say these are not significant advances. These are small villages and certainly without much strategic change of the balance. For me, like, the big test will be whether the Russian army this summer will be able to capture Pokrovsk. Pokrovsk is a big hub of transport routes, and if Russia can do that, that will probably prolong the war. But they are trying to do this already for 1 year. It's from last year, from 2024 summer, already 11.5 months, Russia is trying to capture Pokrovsk, that hub. So see how slowly Russia goes here. And for me, 1 or 2 villages this week, and they maybe next week they will lose 1 or 2 villages elsewhere. Doesn't really make any difference on the battlefield. Generally, yes, there was an advance in the summer, where is the best time for any advance. Russians are trying hard. They are wasting a lot of soldiers, by the way, for those advances. Every day in the last months, Russia is between 900 and 1,000 soldiers dead in those advances. So if they capture these small villages, it also means a lot of human lives lost, the Russian soldiers' lives lost. And it doesn't really justify that advance if we take the enormous Russian losses in terms of armed forces. But they are trying to show that they are still there, they are still strong, they can achieve the goals of the special military operations. And with that speed of achievement, some suggestions go like, they need 70 years to get all of Ukraine, or even several years to get all of the 4 regions. They are nowhere near anywhere in Zaporozhye, in Kherson region. Have advances only in Donetsk, and these are very minimal, as I say. So nothing to worry about here. These are reports. They are trying to please Putin with some good news in Kremlin. They will report another 2 villages next week. But when they lose those same 2 villages, they never report that to Putin. That's why we hear what Russians advances. But otherwise, if they lose villages, that's Ukrainians are usually not reporting everything. They're very kind of professional on that method. They are not trying to please Zelensky with such little changes on the battlefield.
Professor Popovsky, obviously we do see some rhetoric being bandied about. We've just seen, in fact, today the Hungarian Prime Minister make a statement that Ukraine has lost this war already, is what he said today. Given your analysis just there, is that an accurate way to put this, or when it comes down to movements on the battlefield?
I will call it ridiculous way to put it. Ukraine fight for 3.5 years, and Russia couldn't even get closer to their, well, remember the first goal Russia put is to change the regime in Kiev and to have the entire Ukraine under its control. they couldn't even get control to the 4 regions they announced they are Russians in their change of the constitution. So Russia is minimizing its own military goals here, and they cannot achieve even those minimal military goals. So absolutely incorrect. Ukraine is there, getting stronger and stronger with the European Union support, with the NATO support, with the rest of the world support. Russia gets its final attempts to achieve anything. So the good news for Putin is only that Donald Trump was elected as US president and somehow prolonged the war, the kind of the confidence of Putin. But again, there is one outcome here. There is no way Ukraine will lose this war.
Professor Popovsky, thank you very much. You are staying with us to discuss further developments. The United States president has said that the US is selling weapons